desperate zebra thrashed against the crushing coils of a massive python, each labored breath bringing it closer to death. The striped coat that had once gleamed in the African sun was now matted with dust and desperation. This wasn't supposed to happen. The young zebra had simply fallen behind its herd after battling a lingering illness, seeking solace in what seemed like a peaceful clearing. But hidden beneath a fallen log lay 20 feet of pure muscle and patience, an African rock python that had been waiting for exactly this moment. The attack came without warning. One second, the zebra was grazing peacefully. The next, it was slammed to the earth by coils thick as tree trunks. The python's grip tightened with mechanical precision, each of the zebra's panicked movements only serving to seal its fate. Death was coming slowly, methodically, just as nature had designed it. High in the branches of a nearby acacia tree, a massive silverback gorilla paused mid-meal. The distant sounds of struggle drifted through the savanna air, not the quick, clean kill of a lion or leopard, but something prolonged and torturous. Logan, as park rangers would later call him, was built like a fortress of muscle and fur, weighing nearly 400 pounds of pure strength. His kind didn't involve themselves in the violent dramas of predator and prey. Gorillas were peaceful vegetarians, content to forage and avoid conflict. But something about those sounds wouldn't let him be. Logan descended from his tree with surprising grace, his intelligent dark eyes scanning the landscape. As he pushed through a thicket of bushes, the full horror of the scene revealed itself. The magnificent zebra was trapped in the python's deadly embrace, its eyes rolling white with terror and exhaustion. Every instinct told Logan to turn away, to return to his quiet world of leaves and bark. The law of the jungle was clear and unforgiving. Instead, Logan roared. The sound exploded across the savanna like thunder, a declaration of war that had no precedent in nature. Without hesitation, the massive gorilla charged into the death scene, his bulk crashing through the grass like a living avalanche. He seized the python's head with both hands, his powerful fingers digging into the serpent's skull as he pulled with every ounce of his incredible strength. The python, shocked by this unprecedented intervention, released a furious hiss and struck out at its new attacker. But Logan was relentless, planting his feet and engaging in a raw contest of power that seemed to defy the very rules of nature. Here was a vegetarian risking everything for a creature he'd never met, fighting a battle that was not his own. The struggle raged for what felt like hours, but was only minutes. Logan's muscles strained as he worked to pry the python's coils loose, his knuckles white with effort. The zebra's breathing grew shallower with each passing second. Just when it seemed Logan might succeed in his impossible rescue, the very air around them changed. They were no longer alone. 4 male lions emerged from the tall grass with the fluid confidence of apex predators. These weren't scavengers looking for an easy meal. They were seasoned killers, their golden eyes fixed not on the dying zebra, but on the gorilla who dared to disrupt the natural order. The lead lion lowered into a hunting crouch, his muscles coiled for the killing strike. The others followed suit, their eyes never leaving the gorilla who had dared to challenge the ancient order of things. Death was moments away, and Logan knew it, yet he never loosened his grip on the python. From 300 yards away, Park Ranger David Mitchell watched the impossible scene unfold through his binoculars. 23 years of field experience had taught him that nature operated on a brutal but necessary calculus. His job was to observe, document, and never interfere. The first rule of wildlife management was simple: let nature take its course, no matter how difficult to watch. But this was different. This wasn't just predation or survival. This was heroism in its purest form, a creature risking everything for another, facing certain death rather than abandoning a stranger in need. As the lions prepared for their final attack, he faced an agonizing choice: follow protocol and watch 2 magnificent animals die, or break every rule he'd sworn to uphold. The lions tensed for their charge. Logan continued his impossible fight against the python. The zebra's breathing grew weaker still. Mitchell's hand slammed down on the ignition. The Jeep's engine roared to life, shattering the primal silence with the thunder of human machinery. Mitchell floored the accelerator, sending the vehicle racing across the savannah directly at this circle of predators. The lions, shocked by the sudden appearance of the loud, fast-moving machine, broke formation and scattered into the safety of the trees. Their carefully planned ambush dissolved in seconds. But the original crisis remained. The zebra was still dying, and Logan was still locked in combat with the python. Mitchell stopped his Jeep at a respectful distance and stepped out, his presence changing the equation one final time. The African rock python, a creature of pure instinct, reassessed its situation. Its intended meal was still there, but the fight had become far too costly. It now faced not one, but two determined opponents, and its survival instinct finally overrode its predatory drive. Slowly, grudgingly, the massive coils began to loosen. The pressure relented. With a final slithering motion, the python uncoiled itself from the zebra and retreated into the undergrowth, vanishing as silently as it had appeared. In the clearing stood three unlikely figures: the man, the gorilla, and the zebra. Logan remained protectively over the freed animal, his chest heaving from exertion. He looked at Mitchell, and for a long moment there was no aggression, no fear. Only a calm acknowledgement seemed to pass between them, a shared understanding of what had just transpired. The zebra, exhausted but miraculously alive, struggled to its feet on shaking legs. It had been saved by a chain of events so unlikely as to be miraculous: the compassion of a gorilla, the courage of a park ranger, and the perfect timing that had brought them all together in that desperate moment. Logan watched as the zebra found its strength and began walking slowly towards the distant dust cloud that marked its herd's location. The great gorilla then turned and walked back toward his acacia tree, his work complete. Mitchell climbed into his Jeep, knowing he would face consequences for his actions, but feeling no regret whatsoever. What happened on the savannah that day was more than just a fight for survival. It was proof that compassion transcends species, that courage can inspire the most unexpected alliances, and that sometimes the most important thing we can do is choose to act when action seems impossible. Logan the gorilla had risked everything for a stranger, and a park ranger had risked his career to save them both. Justice had been served in the most perfect way possible, not through violence or revenge, but through the triumph of mercy over brutality, of courage over indifference. In a world that often seems governed by the law of the jungle, three different species had proven that there's something even more powerful at work: the simple choice to do what is right, even when everything is stacked against you. If this incredible true story of courage and compassion moved you, smash that like button and subscribe for more amazing wildlife encounters that will restore your faith in the natural world.